kaunti yomena malo eta toknyo wajeren men dia punya yomena sliks bilatiel no tade kapinyo mato chik pelo sir apise chuji ni police manya makanya
clarify is that the vehicles allocated to the former president for personal use were not new. They were in fact the cars that were part of his motorcade when he left Kasarani during the inauguration ceremony. Agreed upon by State House that the former president uses these vehicles on transitional basis as they begin the process of procuring new vehicles as stipulated in the presidential benefit. That is, 2 new vehicles of the choice, replaceable every, and each car having an engine capacity not exceeding 3,000 cc's. 2 4-wheel drive motor vehicles, 2 4-wheel motor drive vehicles of the retired president's choice, also replaceable every 3 years, having an engine capacity of 3,000 to 4,000 cc's. Just a point of note as well. The late President Daniel Arap Moi and the late President Kibaki were allocated and maintained more than the number of vehicles that were allocated to the third retired president to ensure optimum running of his office. There were fuel cards that were issued. The fuel cards were given as well as the maintenance of the vehicles, but that has not been done because the cards were blocked on the month of March 2023 to the 26th date. I'll take that again. The fuel cards were given, however, they were cancelled and blocked by State House since March 2023. Date. There have been reports daily that State House has undertaken repairs and maintenance of vehicles at the former president's office. That is correct. In fact, I wanted to receive calls from some journalists to verify forms provided by a State House official as evidence of service towards repairs and maintenance. And this clarification, they still went ahead to quote these as valid documents of services rendered. And those copies of those incomplete forms you have in your press pack, you'll be able to peruse that. These forms, you'll see that they have the word approved at the corner, which is what was being used by State House to say that they have approved the services. That signature, I would like to clarify, ladies and gentlemen, belongs to the former State House Comptroller, that is Mr. currently AIU holder of the office of the third president. Those forms or those requisitions were not honored by the accounting officer, that is the State House Comptroller. Our requisition forms, for your note, contain approval notes from heads of department. It is therefore the position of the retired president that the government of the day has not undertaken any repairs, maintenance of any vehicles under the office, namely fuel. As the issue raised, the office still awaits confirmation and communication refused to renew contracts of 2 professional staff members, the administrator, Mr. and Mrs. Kanze Dena Mararo, who is the Director of Communication. There is also the issue of unceremonious withdrawal and intimidation of staff via phone calls. We have provided a list of the complete staff serving in the office of the retired third president, and would also like to clarify at least that Mr. Mwaura presented in his statement had the wrong tally. Those members of staff that were there, 32 and not 33. Provide for 34 members of staff. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, allow me now to present the official position of the office of the third retired president of the Republic of Kenya. The issue of has been thought to update various international roles, especially in the region, in capacity as former head of state. Among them, is facilitated by the African Community Heads of State during the 22nd Ordinary Meeting of East Africa Heads of State Summit that was held on the 22nd of July 2022 in Tanzania, Arusha. These engagements necessitated that the need to identify and establish a suitable office for the former president to enable him carry out these roles at operational base for various color of from State House and a lack of commitment to finalize on the issue of the office space. His Excellency, the former President, identified as office space, as you can see where we are, and went ahead to fully furnish and equip it from his pocket. A formal letter to State House requesting valuation of the office that was identified by the former Kenyatta as suitable for him to carry out. However, the office did not response on the issue, and instead, the communication that the office received was via communication message, text message, by the then in charge, John Makulu, and the statement the estimates of the property in question, where we are, and that is the office that was selected by the former president. In your communication pack or in your press kit, you will find the communication that alludes to this statement. To date, this office runs on the former president's goodwill as it waits upon action from State House. On the issue of vehicles, as indicated earlier, the former president is using vehicles given to him on a transitional basis. The office would like this to go on record that after transition, a conversation on the purchase of vehicles as required by the Act commenced between the two offices. That conversation I have made available for you also on the kit, and it notes that the identification of vehicles was done down to the color of the vehicle, and then the conversation froze. To date, no discussions have been revived. We don't know if the cars were purchased or not. On international trips, since retirement, the former President Uhuru Kenyatta has undertaken several official trips related to the roles and duties, and only 2 such trips have been on. Trip to Ethiopia and matters concerning the peace process by the African Union, and the one to Burundi was the 7th summit of the heads of government of the East African Community on the issues pertaining to the peace in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The office did submit other requests for certification of trips, but received response. That too you find in your press. The fourth issue. Now, this is actually the issue that the office seeks to have addressed: budget allocation. In the year 2023, financial year 2022-2023, Parliament allocated this office 655 million shillings. To date, the office can only confirm absorption of 28 million shillings, spread across payment of allowances for domestic travel, as well as facilitation of the 2 trips that I mentioned earlier that were honored. That is approximately 4.4% of the total budget for that particular year. And this does not include the payment of salaries and medical insurance. The financial year 2023-2024 that ends in a few weeks, the budget allocation for this office was 503 million shillings. The year is ending without the having any access to this allocation. Amount of 2 years that we have not had access to this allocation, 1 billion Kenya shillings. We can confirm that salaries have been paid, as well as medical insurance, but we cannot allude to how much it is. Now, in the coming year, which is 2024-2025, the budget allocation is 579 million shillings. Well, the office waits with bated breath to see if this will be honored. You see, the quagmire that this office is in is that the office cannot substantiate what has been used and where the money is. Since several requests and attempts to get budget returns from the accounting officer, who is the State House Controller, have fallen on deaf ears. Like to distance ourselves from budget tabled in Parliament. Our position is that no input on the budget estimates that informed the allocation of 450 million to allocate the office of the retired president in 2025-2026, which is 475 million shillings for the year 2026-2027, as was reported by the Star newspaper of the Tuesday, May 14th, 2024. You see, after budget estimates are approved by Parliament, the monies are disbursed to the accounting officers through Treasury. It is at this point that a department or office is able to access the budget allocation through the accounting office as per the requirements. And I just want to state that our presiding officer in this case is a facilitator controller. The total cost of the is then submitted to Parliament as budget, and once approved, budget allocation will be added of the officer to allocate monies to the department of. This process has not happened in our case. The lack of access to our rightful budget allocation has forced the former president, Uhuru Kenyatta, to run the office on his for all the bills the office incurs. Communication. The office knows with concern the choice of communication by State House to this office. State House chooses a verbal form of communication on official issues or chooses not responded by this office. This includes the requisition for fuel maintenance, office operations and facilitation, pending renewal of contracts and returns. We all know the importance of communication to maintain transparency and order. In the next 2 years, we will see internal communication within the office to enable us account for action taken following non-committal communication from the State House. We have also seen the continued onslaught of the office dailies, as well as leaking of misleading documents, presenting the office of the third retired president in bad light. It has not been the intention of this office to engage with State House via the public gallery on matters that should be handled between the two offices. The position of the office of the third retired president is a respect of institutions, and as such, has remained silent for the last 2 years, hoping for a formal engagement with State House. However, the continued action in the public domain has informed the move by this office a formal response on the real state of affairs. We call upon the relevant institutions led by Parliament, who are mandated the rule of law to defend the Constitution, the Auditor General, who is tasked to hold the government accountable, as well as the Controller of Budget, to look into the issues we have raised. As an officer, we are willing and ready to engage. However, it is our observation, commitment, and reluctance by the government in fulfilling the presidential benefits in totality. There was an issue that was raised in the statement about Mangina Kenyatta. For attains the act, we all know her former party is entitled to benefits amounting to 50% of her husband's pension. The 3 Range Rovers that Her Excellency Mama Ngina Kenyatta has in her possession were allocated to her by the late President Daniel Arap Moi and the late President Mwai Kibaki during their respective years and replaced accordingly. The government spokesperson said that they gave her the cars, but clearly the government of the day has provided her with any vehicles. In fact, we would like to clarify that on the 18th of July 2023, at 7 p.m., all the drivers and security details related to her were from their residences via phone. The claim in the media that personnel were reinstated is false. To Capital, fuel cards for her vehicles were also blocked since March 2023 to date, and vehicle maintenance denied. She fuels and maintains these government vehicles, one of which has been unsaddled for approximately over 1 year. We do note that there are other beneficiaries of the Presidential Retired Benefits Act, which include the former Prime Minister, Right Honorable Raila Odinga, the first retired Vice President, Honorable Mudi Awori, and the second retired Vice President, Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka. We also know that the current Prime Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, was also a beneficiary of this office before his new role in the current government. While the picture painted by Mr. Mwaura of the government's commitment to support the office of the retired president in accordance to the law is the ideal situation, it saddens this office to inform the public that unfortunately that picture does not exist. And Mwaura is an office precedence that is being set by the government of the day. Their decision to blatantly ignore execution of the Presidential Act No. 11 of 2023 seems to open up a Pandora's box that will leave a retired head of state at the mercy of the government of the day. And as Martin Luther King Jr. said, injustice anywhere is a threat everywhere, whatever affects one directly or indirectly. So help us God. I would like to clarify that this is not what we would want to happen. This is not how we want to engage, because we respect the rule of law. However, any matters arising, we do acknowledge that there are officers concerned, and we do hope that they will be able to pick it up and rest the issue. I conclude my statement, and now I'll take in questions. Yes, sir. Yes, Justice.
Is it true that the office of the fourth president of Kenya rejected the request for valuation of this property?
That is not true. You'll see in your press pack that there's a letter that was written to State House asking for the valuation of this office, and there has been no response.
And is it also true that the office of the fourth president wants the government to pay rent for its private property?
I think what we need to understand here is that the suitable choice of office, and I've explained to you what informed him to be able to use this office. And actually, if I may just add to that, is that the offices that are being used currently had to be taken over because what I've explained is that there were duties that needed to be taken over immediately. And despite being able to reach out to the office of State House to be able to pay, or rather to be able to settle our office, has gone to deaf ears. The offices that we use are currently on that side where you've just, on the other side where you're from. Those used to be actually servant quarters that were converted urgently so that the office can be able to be in use.
And finally, you say that your name, President,
Yes. 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 Unfortunately, salary for the last 2 years. Yes, Ken.
In terms of the money for President spent for this one, how
Yes.
much is it? Will you be able to quantify? How much is it now? And the issue of you're not earning a salary.
Yes.
So who's sustaining? I mean, you've got bills to pay. Who's paying for that?
Let's talk about savings. That's all that I can say about it. So let's talk about savings. And I'm not able to actually quantify on how much it is that the president has been able to spend, because that includes fueling, it includes the foods that we're eating as a staff, travel bills, all those things, electricity. So I'm not yet able to compound in totality how much that is. But it's Madam Magu is the administrator personnel, so maybe she can be able to let that answer that question.
Good afternoon, everyone. We do not have an exact figure of. Currently, we do not have an exact figure exactly how much that he has spent, but that totals to the transport, every makes, catering bills as well, and any other running, administration, operational running of the office. But you don't have the exact figure at the moment.
But you require a refund if things go well.
Yeah.
We have the documents. We don't have the exact, the right figure, but we have all the documentation with us.
Yes. Yeah. Three. Yeah. 1 billion shillings. Okay. The understanding that I have, which you can go back and clarify. Once Parliament allocates the money, I think I've also read it in my statement, the money goes to the accounting officer. For this office, the accounting officer is the controller of State House. What happens is that once the money comes, we make a request, whatever it is we'll need, whether it's fueling, travel, and all that. So that money is supposed to be released to us by the accounting officer as well. On your second question, it is difficult to assess and understand why the actions taken by State House have been taken. There's a reluctance towards aiding us. Any other question? Yes. Yes.
And secondly, I will speak to the timing of this. The spokesman will speak to the timing. So this timing is speaking to whatever is happening in the country. Please.
Okay, to your first question, I think the pressure today was about the office and the status. So on peacekeeping, we will address that much later. In terms of the timing, you did realize that he did the presser, I think, last week on Friday. It was not a long time ago. He did the presser last week on Friday. Last week, but one on Friday, I think. Last week, but one on Friday. What we needed to do and why we took time was we wanted to ensure that what we are bringing before you is the true position and with evidence. So not just alluding to a statement, but we want you to have the evidence so to understand the correct position of and what we stand for and what we believe in and what is true, which is what we make it public. And the reason why we've been able to respond is because they formally responded through the government spokesperson, and we felt that that was an opportunity for us as the office of the third retired president to also make our formal response so that people get to understand that this is where we are at. So it has nothing to do with any political indication in the country right now. Yeah.
Just one last one from me.
Yes. Yes. Okay, to follow up, maybe you can share public conversation that happened during His Excellency concerning all the beneficiaries of the office of the third president. And there is actually a conversation that happened between State House and the AG's office. I'm just not able to have those documents right now, but in fact, that being able to rent an office that belongs or is related to the family was not a conflict of interest issue. That issue was raised with one of the former retired or one of the beneficiaries. I'm just not able to name who it is right now, but it was concluded by the AG then that is not a conflict of interest, and that's why the former president made the decision to have the offices here. Yes. Yes. Yes.
My question is the reason why the settlement is actually structured on the office of the retired president.
Yes.
Because
Benefits Act. Yes.
Do you think there are terms and conditions that come to this? Especially touching politics that would bring this complexity and give them a good gray area not to do what you're asking them to do.
I know that one of the things that they talk about is his involvement in politics. And I think the correct position is that if you remember very clearly, immediately after inauguration, there was an NDC that was held by the Jubilee Party. And the process of that, the purpose of that NDC was to begin a process for him to be able to hand over chairmanship. But as we know, things went as they went, and the matter is currently in court. So, inevitably, he made the chairman of Jubilee. Inevitably, because he's one of the Jubilee is one of the key parties of Azimio, he still remains in Jubilee. However, I think we can note anywhere that he has been inactive in terms of political activity. So I don't think that that should be a basis or a TOR that should necessitate the kind of treatment that the office of the retired third president is receiving.
And finally, the level of the former president and the level of the current president, the difference is former and current.
Yes.
Has there been attempts directly by the former president to speak to the current president with a view of certain administrative issues, but it is basically left to the also administrative?
I think there is nothing that there to be a conversation because everything is, it's the rule of law. That would require the conversation. Yes. Well, we thank God for his mercies. That's not where we are at right now. But actually, it's not fair. Let's just say that it's not fair for us to have waited for 2 years and we still don't have an idea when that's going to end.
Naam. tunaliona jina la rais wa nne wa taifa la Kenya kitajwa katika siasa za leo na Kenya, wakiwepo naye kwamba mambo yake hapa na pale. Hivi msimamo wa ofisi ya rais wa nne wa taifa la Kenya ni gani? Hivi huenda tutamwona labda Nuru Foyo au kama hayo hilo la kuanzisha pili kidogo tu sasa katika lugha ya Kiswahili
kuhusiana na swala hilo la siasa, nadhani ameshaweka wazi na umeona kwamba katika matendo yake kwamba hajajihusisha vyovyote vile na siasa. Watu kumtaja, wangependa kumtaja, kuna mapendekezo na ni mapendekezo tu yako humu ambayo hayana uhakika wowote. Kwa hivyo sidhani kama itakuwa ni sawa kuweza kumuunganisha na masuala haya, maana yeye mwenyewe hajasimama akaweza kuyataja kama mambo ambayo yanahusika nayo. Wamekuwa wanapigiwa simu usiku na wanaambiwa waende katika station tofauti kuliko ile ambayo wameletwa hapa. Yaani wanapigwa transfer kupitia simu.
Kuna yote ambaye ameweza
wapo. Lakini kwa sababu pia wao ni wa maafisa wa serikali, tungependa kuwalinda. Yes, Moshoki.
The former CJ, Justice Maraga, complained of the same thing the former president was president. Is it fair to say this is the first time that is happening? Yet that happened.
Sorry.
The former CJ.
Yes. Yes.
Complained of the same.
The former, but you see, the Chief Justice is not part of the Retired President's Benefit Act. He's a public servant. He's much as a hand of the judiciary. Right?
He was complaining of not getting what he deserved.
Yes. But that's what I'm saying. Their benefits are under judiciary, not the Presidential Benefits Act. Any other question? Haya, kwa muktasari basi, ningependa kusema kwa muktasari sasa. Ni kwamba ofisi ya rais mstaafu wa 3, Rais Uhuru Kenyatta, ni kwamba tumeweza kueleza ya kwamba kufikia sasa tumeona madai kwenye baadhi ya vyombo vya habari vikielekeza ya kwamba ofisi ya rais imeweza kupewa msaada ama imeweza kufanyiwa mambo yote ambayo yanahitajika kufanyiwa kulingana na sheria. Lakini ukweli ni kwamba swala hilo halijaweza kushughulikiwa, manake kama unavyoona ikiwa ni katika mgao wa bajeti, ofisi hii haijaweza kupata mgao huo kupitia katika mwaka wa 2022, 2023, mwaka 2024, mwaka 2023-24, ambapo katika mwaka huo wa kwanza mgao ulikuwa ni shilingi 1655, na kwa sasa tunaweza kusema kwamba kuna takriban asilimia 30, milioni 30 ambayo tumeweza kutumia. Na tunasema takriban kwa sababu we've not yet gotten the budget returns. Hatujapata mwelekeo huo ili uweze kujua kama pesa hizo zimeweza kutumika na zimeweza kutumika vipi. Mnamo mwaka wa pili pia tumepata mgao wa bajeti wa 1503 na kufikia sasa hatujaona hata shilingi moja. Tunajua tu kwamba milipwa, hatujui ni kiasi gani, ndio tujaweza kupata hizo budget returns. Na katika juhudi zetu zote za kuweza kuwasiliana na ofisi ya State House ili kuweza kujua na kuelewa hali ni kwa nini mambo yanaendelea vile yalivyo, kuweza kupata mwelekeo wote. Maana ile waraka tunaoandika tupate majibu, na majibu yanapokuja yanakuja na simu na huelewi ni ipi unachukua na ipi uchukue. Maana hupati simu moja, unapata simu zaidi ya moja ikiwa na mielekeo tofauti. Kuna lile swala la magari ambalo lilikuwa limezungumziwa. Nimeweza kuhakikisha ya kwamba magari alionayo rais mstaafu kwa hivi sasa ni magari aliyotoka nayo Kasarani baada ya kuweza kupatiana wadhifa wa taifa la nchi, na ilikuwa ni maelewano kwamba aweze kuchukua magari kwa safari ya mpito State House ama Ikulu iweze sasa kuanza mikakati ya kuweza kumpa magari ambayo ameweza kupewa kulingana na sheria. Kwa hivyo ilitushangaza kuona ya kwamba wanasema wametupa magari, hali magari walitupa sio magari ambayo yameweza kuelekezwa katika sheria. Na pia tungeweza kusema ya kwamba ofisi hajapewa, maana msemaji wa serikali amepewa ofisi yake ambayo ameichagua yeye, na kwamba tunaweza kuwasiliana na Ikulu kuhusiana na swala hilo. Na pia katika suala zima la baadhi ya wafanyakazi ambao wanafanya kazi, tumewapa orodha hiyo kamili. Walisema watu ni 33 lakini watu ni 32. Walia watu wawili ambao ni Bwana George Kariuki na mimi ni Deacon Beden. Karibu Bwana kazi. Na zaidi hatujapenda kweli kuweza kuzungumza masuala haya kwenye mhadhara. Na kadri ya uwezo wetu kuweza kuwasiliana na hii kupitia nyaraka na hata kupata nafasi ya kuweza kuzungumza, lakini juhudi zetu zote zimegonga mwamba. Kwa sababu tuliweza kuzungumzia swala hili msemaji ndipo vyema nasi pia kusema ni kipi ambacho ni cha haki na ni kipi ambacho ni kweli, na tumeweza pia kuwapa baadhi ya nyaraka ambazo kuandika msemaji wa serikali kueleza kwamba hivi ndivyo hali na tungeendelea kuzungumzia masuala haya sana, maana zipo ofisi ambazo zimewekewa zina juhudi ama zina kazi yao kuu ni kuhakikisha kwamba masuala kama haya yanaweza kushughulikiwa. Ingekuwa ni pendekezo letu sisi kama ofisi kwamba ofisi hizo
ya kwaro wingo bene neno kanyo en kotino kod bende twak mabende dhi kanyo kod jofwambo achiel kachiel ka jatend piny machon Uhuru Kenyatta golo twak ewi nok mar omenda michiwne apise mag timore kinde bende wachore ni osebedo ka otiyo gi omenda ne wuon e tayo chenro mag apis. Winjo kanyo ka jawach e lo apisi mare Kanzedena chiwo kanyo twak ewi wach mano madhi nyime, kendo iwacho kanyo ni wachore ni ne onduso omenda madhi apisi mar Uhuru Kenyatta ka bende Uhuru Kenyatta yudo omenda mo shillings milion 1.3 dwe ka dwe, ka bende piny owacho e chik onego sir apise chul jotich